Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's your boy, your host, Rumboyz Robbie. Thank you all for joining. Welcome to the most lit podcast to ever touch down Friday nights live, ladies and gentlemen, live streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and X. Be sure that you like, be sure that you comment, be sure that you subscribe. Also support our sponsors. Links are in the description. You see I'm rocking my Dodgers chain, getting ready to take over, getting ready to get that World Series, baby. Padres, move. Get out the way. Get out the way. Get your GLD just like me. Link is down below in the description. Hey, yo, take them to the yacht. Show them some more of what we got.
I bought in Miami when no land, I got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, no turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, go where you're not.
Without further ado, let's go ahead and get you guys introduced to the cast and crew. It's the same familiar faces that you already know. So let's go ahead and get into the show. First up, stepping up to the mic, ladies and gentlemen, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop the mic, FF.
What it do, what it do. Let's get this party started.
Congrats on being an uncle.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, your favorite hill. Oh, we have a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Also, my co-host on the Goal Line Goons. Give it up for TDS Taco.
You popping, bruh. I got White Claw Ice tonight. It should be interesting.
Okay. All right. Sure. Don't even know what that is. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rum boys and girls want to do. Dilly. Let's get into it. All righty. So anxious to talk football. It has been quite a week. First off, shout out to the chat. At least with the Shama. Yes, yo. Watson about to go off this weekend. Big ups to him in a big fight. What up, Daniel? What up? Aiden, yo, what's good, bro? Albert, what's going on, man? What's going on? All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into tonight's show. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Make sure that you guys hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe, and then also share the content. Thursday night football was electric last night. Am I like anyone here disagree, gentlemen?
Best Thursday night game of the year.
Best Thursday night football game of the year. Kirk Cousins passed for 500, breaking Matt Ryan's record on Matt Ryan's night. Only player in NFL history with 450 plus passing yards for 3 different franchises. On top of the NFC South. Should the Cousins-led Falcons be feared? How far can they go? Thoughts on Baker, big playmaker as well, and the Bucs. This was one of those weird games where even though the team unfortunately has to lose, like you don't feel bad for like the losing team. You're like, damn, like y'all put up like a dogfight. By the way, 100 career passing or 100 career receiving TD for Mike Evans. Mike, take us away.
First off, you were incorrect. I need to fact check. It was Mike Evans' 100th career touchdown, but he had a fumble recovery in the end zone. That's why he threw the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
He's waiting for his 100th career passing, receiving.
Or receiving. Yeah.
But it is his 100th career. I agree.
Yeah. In the books. Books, regardless of him throwing it. Yeah.
I agree and I disagree with a couple things you said. First off, I'm going to get to the Falcons. I'm going to say what I said at the beginning of the year. They're going to win the division. They're going to win. They could win one game in the playoffs, but that's it. If they win in the playoffs, they're going to win and won and then done. That's what I think they're going to do if that's the case. I will say that I am impressed in Darnell Mooney, except for the drop. Except for the drop. He had 9 catches. I mean, yeah, it was a bad drop. But he is proving that he could be – he's proving that he can be a number 2 in the NFL.
He's proving that he can go back to what he was. When he had that monstrous year, what was that, with Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And like we were heading into next year, we're like, man, no, I need to get Mooney. And everyone was like shouting to the Mooney. We're back to that. He's got his mojo back.
So that's 1. 2, I kind of found it funny that they scored on the play right after London got hurt because 1, London isn't skinny enough and agile enough to get through that hole. 2, he was all those wide receivers were tired except Hodge. Hodges was the only wide receiver that could have made it because he hadn't played all freaking game.
But what makes that story so beautiful on top of that, though, is like, London got hurt. London had to come out, So, typically you put the ball in your best player's hand. Hodge just comes in, lines up, and then just, like, fit like he was right in the office the whole time.
Well, and then the other thing, the last thing I'll say about Kirko, I know you brought up the 450 and all that, which I will have to say, who on this panel started him in the Rumboyz League? This guy. So, yeah. But the thing I want to say about him is because Robbie, you have brought it up. We don't watch it on the regular broadcast. Even if I'm watching it by myself, I watch it on the next gen or whatever they want to call it, advanced stat broadcast on whatever. When they showed it from the other view, he was more on spot with his throws last night, even under duress, than I've seen since he was in Washington.
Yeah. I mean, his 3 franchises that he has that record with is Washington, Minnesota, and Atlanta. Yeah, he's done it everywhere he's gone. Yeah.
But I want to get to Baker, Playmaker, Mayfield. Yes, that boy is for real. But I think this is a major hit. I know you said, they put up a fight and this and that. I think this is a bigger hit for Tampa Bay than people think because they could have been 4-1 going into a 10-day break. And now they're 3-2, tied with Atlanta a half a game back because of the tiebreaker. They could have put them at 2-3 with a 2-game lead with New Orleans and Carolina as the other 2 teams. This is a bigger loss for Tampa Bay than it is a win for Atlanta. Taco, take it away.
Really quick, hold on before you take it away. Man, Bijan Robinson, more like Bigon Robinson. Yeah, fantasy managers not happy about the production that they got last night. Another primetime game-winning drive for Kirk. Yeah, I believe he has like the most fourth quarter 1 second comebacks or some shit like that, some crazy astronomical stat. Kirk was absolutely swag surfing. It was a freak off in Atlanta last night for sure. Magic City was not closing until 6 a.m. They're still partying. Karam saying that Atlanta not going too far in the playoffs. Kyle Pitts' best game, hallelujah. Mooney mossing someone on 3rd and 22. Nobody should have caught that. But that's okay. He dropped that one ball. I'm dead. You like that. Taco, take it away.
I mean, I think that before the season, almost everyone was virtually in on the Falcons winning this division because when you add Kirk Cousins to an offense that has pieces as dynamic as Pitts, Bijan, and London, it's very hard to imagine a division that had, I think, a sub 500 team, win the division last year. And as much as we like the Bucks, I mean, let's face it, they didn't really upgrade that much on offense in compared to what the Falcons did. And I think they're starting to gel. Those first couple of games, you gotta, give them time to start playing and acclimating. But looks like Kirk Cousins is starting to shake the rust and rust off, start getting a rhythm.
He's all the way back. He's all
him and Drake London are starting to build a nice rapport. He's starting to find him, target him, and give him ample opportunities to produce ROI for his draft position. I know some people were questioning it coming into last game, but after the last 2 games, it's unquestionable. Drake London is probably going to finish as a wide receiver 1 this year. I also think that, like what you're saying, Mooney seems to be really emerging as a viable 2. I don't know how sustainable it will be, considering Bijan Robinson, like we've also pointed out here, has been very unimpressive. And it's becoming murkier and murkier. But, I have been kind of beating the drum on, sell high on him from the last, week or 2. Now it's kind of over that window because it's too much of a split backfield for his talent and for what you can probably get on him, his name value and his draft capital in real life. I think inflated his fantasy value because he doesn't get used. Even like Kyron Williams gets better usage than Bijan Robinson, in my opinion. And I think that will ultimately always hurt.
It's a McVay offense, yeah. Kyron Williams outranks Bijan in rankings at the position. Really quick to that point, at least bringing up stop playing Algier. I don't think that it's necessarily a stop playing Algier thing as much as it's Bijan. You need to be doing Bijan things with your opportunities. You're getting majority of the timeshare. You're on the field significantly way more than Algier. It's just with Algier's small sample size, we're sitting back and we're going, oh my gosh, like he's looking amazing. Mike, you're like glitching somehow. I don't know what's going on. It stops there. Now it stopped.
I think one of the biggest things for me is I'm not seeing enough passing game work for Bijan, where I thought he would be getting that CMC type workload of you're going to see 70, 80 catches out of this guy, and you're not going to get that. You're just not going to get that.
Yeah, he had some work in the passing game.
Not enough. Not enough for what we were thinking.
No. Well, again, you have to be effective with the opportunities that you're given, and you have to play the game. You have to play the game for the matchup that you're going against. You're not heading into last night, and I brought this up on TikTok Live. Heading into last night, and I even said it during the pregame show before we even got into doing the actual play-by-play. There was not going to be a prevalent running game on either side. This was going to be an all-out air assault. I know for fantasy, everyone wants to be like, well, for what? I drafted it. We have to remember that the two eventually mesh.
You're talking about 12 rushes and 3 catches, 3 targets. You have one of the most dynamic players and
you're playing the Bucks. You're not utilizing the backfield. You're not. That's not how you're gonna beat the Bucks.
Right. Everything that you're saying makes perfect sense, but I mean that means the way everyone evaluated Bijan Robinson is wrong. He should have not been that high.
That doesn't mean that the way that everyone
evaluated him. No way you can justify his draft position or holding him that high.
The way that everyone evaluated him.
He's a second rounder that went 3rd overall.
For that game last night.
Maybe he's not even a second rounder right now. He's not even playing.
Last night you were not going to get typical Bijan. I do believe that they are going to continue to put the ball in his hands. By the end of the year, he'll finish, relative within the top 10.
He may not finish an RB1.
Right now he's RB15. Right now, he's 15, or coming into the week, he was 15.
Taco, how many through 5 games, how many targets would you want him to have?
I'd want his targets to be ticking up rather than ticking down.
No, I know, but in 5 games,
how many per game would you want?
I'm asking you total.
I would be
5
looking
games.
for like I would want a minimum of like 5 a game.
Guess
minimum
what?
Of 5 a game. He's getting like 3 and 2 in the last 2 games.
He's at 4.2 a game for the year.
Yeah, he's 3 and 2. He's trending down. The first game the first game was his best game as far as.
I get that. What I'm saying is, I think what Robbie's saying is because it was Tampa Bay, it'll level out.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't run it. You don't run on Vita Vea. Yo, that Bijan blocking Vita Vea was funny as hell. Like matchup for matchup, like you're not. You're neither team was running against either team, which is why I just looked at a successful running night.
So I just looked at the advanced stats, and I was kind of surprised by it on the other way. I thought Algier even had more. Algier's only at 25% snap share.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a small sample size.
He's averaging only 5 points, fantasy points a game, like 5.8. It's not like I think Robbie's right. I agree that Algier's getting carries that I don't want him to have, but I agree with Robbie in the sense. I agree with you on that. But I also agree with Robbie in the sense that Bijan isn't taking advantage of some of the opportunities that he needs to be the first-round pick that you're talking about.
I mean, I don't know if it's so much of that because I know he had like the touchdown that was called back on the catch because there was the penalty. I just don't think they feed him the ball the way that we thought they would. We thought this would be more of an offense. Like again, and I'm not meaning to compare the offenses of McVay versus this, but the way that they're featuring Kyren Williams is what we were thinking of. And I think at the end of the day, that's kind of what we have to reevaluate. And if you can sell high on people that still believe in that, that's what I would do and get the assets to move off because he's not going to return value.
They're not comparable. Kyron's getting the usage that he's getting because there's no Puka, there's no Cup. Kyron's not going to be getting that usage once both of them in tandem are back healthy. It's not going to be the same.
It's hard because he likes to run over there, McVay, and he's getting the full share plus.
You're right. But he also likes to utilize his dynamic receivers. This is where like the X's and O's does rear its head into fantasy. This is where.
But do you think that either one of these guys is going to be healthy?
Who? Puka and Cup?
Puka's going to be out for another 4 weeks.
Puka's gonna be back by I think they said week 9.
Maybe.
Yeah, they said week 9 is probably like what it's looking like. And then Cup should be back next week. But yeah, no, I definitely think that they'll be back. But yeah, how do you feel about the Bucs side of things, Taco?
I think that running back situation, we gotta draw back our Bucky Irving hype shares, and White may have more of a foothold in that position than we all would have hoped. Because Bucky, I think, is with that fumble and with the way he's been inefficient running the ball, I think he's under 3 yards per carry.
I saw that going around the internet a lot last night, and then after the game, my response to that, and it's kind of like been like the same thing I've been saying all day, is don't let recency bias fool you. At the end of the day, we have a big enough, massive enough sample size of what Rachaad White is and what we know we're going to get. And the Bucs know that as well. So I think that they're going to just slowly keep trying to bring him in. They said that that's what it was going to be. There was never it's 100% going to be Bucky. It's always been, we don't really fucking know what we're doing. And I think that that's how fantasy managers should approach it. I think that you need to still hang on to your Bucky shares. I think you still need to be hanging on to your Rachaad shares. And if you can utilize them in trade talks, I think they make perfect trade pieces because of how much faith and fear that there is involved with both of them, that it's a give and take type of situation that you can utilize, and you can kind of utilize that. Hey, I'm going to give you this. You give me this. Da, 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 da. I help you here. You help me here. Hey, you have Rachaad White. I'm going to give you have Rachaad White. I have, Breece Hall, but you have, Braylon Allen, and I have Bucky. Hey, I'll give you the handcuff to your handcuff, brother. Maybe, and you get away with something like that. to where it's comparable for both parties. I think these are the perfect trade pieces in multiple different facets. That's just something super basic that I just threw out in a basic example. Cool. Another thing that I just want to throw out there is motherfucking congratulations, Mike Evans. Like, I get that 100 didn't happen the way that you wanted, but my gosh.
The only reason I brought it up is that's why he threw the ball in the crowd.
In the stands, yeah, in the crowd. No, like for real though, like big ups, first ballot Hall of Famer, a player that doesn't get the hype that they deserve. Like if I were to compare it to like, there's a lot of players in history that never got like the hype that they deserve, but played the game at such a high level. You know, on the offensive side of the ball, Mike Evans is like London Fletcher in my eyes, you know, like that player that like played the game so elite, but people don't go out there and like, yeah, that person, you know, no one's, you know, people aren't doing that, you know, during that whole reign of terror that Larry Fitzgerald rained down, people didn't give Larry enough credit. It was always all the other receivers on all the other teams that were, because they were the flashy ones, you know, T.O. was working out in his garage and shit like that. Mike Evans has played the game the right way. Yes, pure consistency, pure longevity. So, like, that's my rant that I really want to contribute to this conversation. I've kind of touched around all the other pieces of the puzzle to help put it together. Other than that, Baker, startable. Kirk Cousins, rosterable, definitely startable at this point. I mean, he hangs into every single game.
Hands down.
Atlanta's the weirdest team because they could easily have been 4-0 or 0-4 with the style of football that they play.
And these teams play each other in 2 and 3 more weeks. So they're playing. They have 2 games and then they play again. So it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be another. I don't think it's gonna be as high scoring because it was indoors and everything. And I just think they're gonna be ratchet down on each other. But I do think it's gonna be. I do think that in that game, Baker and Cousins are 100% startable in that game.
I do partially find it weird that the NFL, I mean, and they don't have control over, you know, certain things, but like they didn't schedule this matchup until like later in the season, kind of how like, you know, if you look at, you know, in the NFC East, for example, Washington's Dallas matchups aren't till the tail end. That's when you're going to get the most viewership because those are the games that it's like battling for the division, you know. So I'm shocked that because we've talked about this during the offseason. We all thought that it was a culmination of these two teams in the NFC South that were going to spearhead this division. Like we all said this. So this last night's performance was not shocking whatsoever. You know, I'm just surprised that NFL didn't make this like. Mike bringing up that we're going to see them in the next like 2-3 weeks. It's like, no, that's too soon. That's too soon. Like, I want this for the end of the season. What's up?
I got one last thing. For the Bucks, Cade Otton is really starting to become a viable player at tight end. I know he's only getting like a couple of targets, but I'm starting to like that.
Well, Cade Otton, I mean, he's always good. He's always like that every season. Cade Otton's Cade Otton.
But this year, the shit is desolate. I took Mark Andrews out and put Cade Otton in and said, fuck this shit.
Oh, you're not wrong for that. What up, Jay Bats? What up, Rumboyz and girls? Did I tell you, Robbie, 2024 Washington equals 2023 Houston? You did right here on this very, very show. Excited to get you back on and happy baptism to the little. Already, we got to get into the next topic. I spaced for like 2 seconds there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's get into the next topic.
Which is?
Woke up this morning, right? Woke up this morning.
And got yourself a gun.
We're on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, dummy.
No, YouTube, I didn't do that. That never happened. Even though shout out to Nas. He was only referencing Nas. We were referencing Nas. I love how like I went Bob Marley, you went Queensbridge.
Where am I from, bro?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And oh my gosh. Anyways, woke up this morning and injuries like that Friday, that Friday morning, that Friday practice. That's when everything kind of really solidifies. And then of course Sunday morning is when everything solidifies with injuries. Gonna talk about a few here. There's a lot more.
Yeah, there's more, but go.
NFL. You want to see me do it again? Neighbors, Mixon, Shakir, and JT all announced this morning to be missing Sunday. Big losses for fantasy managers on a Friday where it seemed like there was optimism for a lot of these players, for pretty much all of them, that there was just a chance, just a sliver bit of hope.
Can you add the 2 Raiders to that list for me?
Zamir White and
Devonta.
We're not talking about Devonta yet.
But he's out. But I'm just saying he's out.
But we're not talking about him in this.
I know. I'm just saying we need to say he's out for the.
No, not for this one. No. We literally do not have to do that. Anyways,
I'm bringing up the other one.
Yeah. Look, you guys know that Devonta's out. That's fine. So yeah, there was seemingly just a little bit of hope for fantasy managers that Neighbors, Mixon, Shakur, JT, Zamir White would have suited up this week. How should fantasy managers navigate, and how are you navigating if affected by these injuries? Taco.
I mean, I am in some way or form affected by pretty much all these injuries everywhere. I think the Amir White one is kind of laughable because it's like he was playing himself into the injured role on my team anyway, which is off of it. So I think that opens up Madison, which I mean, I don't know how viable he is. Like, we've seen him with full-time roles and it's just been less than impressive. But, again, volume is king in fantasy, so he might be able to carve something out. So I think if he is available by chance in your league, definitely scoop and score and put him on your bench. Trey Sermon, I on Tuesday I was talking about him. If Taylor's out on a volume play versus the Jags,
they already announced that it's going to be a committee. It's going to be him and Tyler Goodson. They're going to split. It's going to be ass.
But I mean, who's going to probably get the goal line? Sermon, as you saw score the other game. Listen, you scored touchdown at 6. When you're replacing people and you're on bye week, it's the dregs, man. So I can see him being a flex this week just because of pure volume speculation. It's a thing. And now it's finally the time for Keon Coleman. I finally have the opportunity to say, Keon Coleman, there's no Shakir. You're probably going to be in a matchup where you might need to throw the ball a little bit more. I hopefully want to see you finally start to show me something because, man, it's not been quite the return on investment we had all hoped for, but there's been enough flashes for you to think maybe there's a chance that, there could be potential. And with no Shakir this week, I think hopefully we start to see some of that potential.
Okay.
Oh, one other one that I love.
No, don't bring it up if it's the one I think you're going to bring up.
From Dallas?
Okay, you can bring that up.
Wide receiver Cook out. Tolbert. Low key, I'm liking him. He's been pretty consistent. He has 2 games over 10 or like 13 points in PPR out of the 4 games. No Cook. I just like that as a dart throw in the deep league or a DFS play.
That's one hell of a fucking dart throw.
He could score this week though. He could.
You're right. It's the NFL.
You remember the Zay Jones thing?
It could happen.
Oh,
Mike.
Shut up. All right, so you're going to get mad at me for bringing this up. I know you are. But I have to bring it up because I think it is relevant. It is the Raiders, and it's not Zamir White. I'm not bringing him up. But play Jacoby Myers, possibly.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's the reason I wanted to bring. That's the only reason I wanted to bring that up. Play Jacoby Myers, but Taco, I'm about to do something I don't do very often on this show.
Are you gonna give me praise? Because that's pretty awesome.
I ain't giving you praise, but I will say something nice about a team that is from New York / New Jersey.
Oh, the Giants. Nice. Hey.
Malik Neighbors is out. I want Wan'Dale Robinson in freaking deep leagues this week all day long because, yes, he's not very good. I don't think he is. But they have nobody else, and it's target share. And if you're going to give me 5-6 catches and 40-50 yards and a possible touchdown, like Taco said, when you have injuries and you have bye weeks and 4 teams are on bye, that worries me. A dart throw that I wouldn't want to use at the running back position because I don't trust the backfield. I don't trust Mr. No Achilles, even though he looks like he could be okay.
Akers.
God damn you. I literally just said I can't trust no Achilles, and then you yell out frickin' Akers. I want the other running back.
I'm answering your question.
I know. I want the other running back because I think the sneaky play is Dare Ogunbowale because he's going to get the goal line for the Texans.
I'm not going to refute that. In deeper formats, I would do that. I'm not
doing that in a freaking start 9 league, but I'm in a 14-team start 13.
Exactly. Yeah. I would do that in a format like that. I'm not doing that shit in a 12-man.
No. I'm not going to do that in a 12-man start 9, but I'll do it in a 12-man start 12 or like SFB and just hope for something in a league like that.
Yeah. It's SFB for damn sure. SFB, you just got to kind of swing for the fences sometimes.
In your take, can you bring up the running back situation for your team?
Sure. Just give me like 1 second. I'm trying to
no problem
fix something with a lineup because it's in my sleeper IDP league. This is being fucking stupid. I am trying to bring Crosby off of IR. There we go. Okay, and I'm trying to put him in my D-line spot. Sorry, I was trying to fix a fix a lineup so I can talk about this topic because I had a player that was no longer on IR.
Oh.
And I needed to make some moves. So I am in quite a position. The way that I am navigating this in my veterans only league where I'm affected by Cook being out, Neighbors being out, Dobbs doubtful. I'm affected by a slew of different injuries in that one. Can't really speak to the JT situation just because I don't have a whole lot of Jonathan Taylor shares.
I have one.
The only thing that I'll say about that is the same drum I've been beating, the same drum that most analysts have been beating in regards to Trey Sermon is exactly what you're going to get. If you like pain, sure, dive off in those waters. But what I'm doing in regards to my Neighbors situation is I'm putting Neighbors, moving him to the bench, obviously, allowing JSN. JSN was in my flex. JSN now has to come up because at this point I don't really have many other receivers in this particular league because Cook is also simultaneously out.
Yep.
So I'm turning to my running backs. They're all going in my flex spots. My receivers that I had in my flex spots, because I had a very deep receiver team, are now being replaced at running backs. So Kareem Hunt is getting replaced there, luckily, which makes my receivers JSN, Pittman, Pickens. And the way that I'm replacing Dobbs is Tucker Kraft. This is all the fuck that I have left. Which honestly, Tucker Kraft, I feel like is going to be the benefactor of Dobbs being out, Watts being out. We kind of saw that a little bit last week, so I wouldn't be shocked if we're looking at the tight end maybe being the leading receiver in that passing game on some like weird Mike Gesicki Cincinnati type shit that we saw at the beginning of the season. And the Packers are going to be able to sustain that type of offense up against the Rams. The Rams are a defense to where they'll let you throw on them. They will let you throw on them. In regards to Washington, I actually just got done getting the final report really quick. Well, not the final report.
The final report of the day.
Yeah, of today. From the man himself. B. Rob is saying he's going to be good to go. He's like, in his specific words, he's like, I'm not going to make a game time decision until, game time. He's like, but that's a competitive thing that I don't want, them to be game planning it for me. But from the horse's mouth, he's good. He's feeling fine.
Good.
And then Eckler is back from concussion, so we're good to go there. In regards to Mixon, you can just elevate, Cam Akers, but I'm in a situation where I have Mixon. I get the benefit of just throwing Justice Hill right there in that spot. So
let me ask you a question. And I was actually going to ask you after, but you brought him up.
Mm-hmm.
I just looked at a team where I have JT, I got Montgomery and Barkley. So Barkley and Montgomery are out by my other wide receiver. My other running back is Zamir White, and JT is out. I have Hill on my lineup. Do I run with Hill or do I go out and pick up Goodson?
Run Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was planning on, but I looked and Goodson is on the waiver wire. Yeah,
no, fuck that whole Sermon and Goodson situation. Like, here's the thing with that also is like, if you're making that play, the only way that you can justify making that play is I got a feeling that's it.
And I don't.
There's not enough data for either one of those backs in the backfield that supports an argument for them being startable. Like, I'm not a fan of Tyrone Tracy. For me, it would be Eric Gray. I feel like Eric Gray is just a lot more effective with what the opportunities he's given.
So I was a giant. I just want to say this, and I see you shaking your head down there. But I was a giant Gray fan coming out of Oklahoma. But I don't know what it is, but it just seems like Dable and them just don't like the guy.
But he's
getting the reps.
A lot more. He's a lot better of that bruiser backward.
I agree, but it doesn't seem
runs like he's nervous. Like he's just.
I mean, I think Mike is right on with the Wandell pick because of they use him like almost like a running back, but like in the short passing game, like quick little dump offs. That's why he's saying like 5 catches for like 50 yards is what this guy gets, or 5 catches for like 40 yards. But that's, I think, tremendous upside this week in a PPR, not in a non-PPR, half PPR, it loses its luster. But in a full PPR, definitely like some Robinson. And I think Tracy is a very interesting play as well, just again on that volume side. And I think they'll use him in the passing game as well.
Damian Pierce's ass.
He's been ass.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm like,
yep.
Like, yeah, no. I believe me, it's an ugly situation when we're talking between the two of Akers and Tracy. That's an ugly situation.
I mean, I'm looking at having to run Hill or go pick up Goodson. Okay.
I mean, it's buys and injuries.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. Do you guys think Kittle is going to play?
Yeah, Kittle said he's good. He said he's fine.
Okay. Do you run Gesicki at flex, or do you go out and get Bo Melton against the Rams?
Gesicki. I feel like I trust
because I have Gesicki on my team. I have to go pick up Melton.
The problem with Gesicki is that in terms of the tight ends, like it's so convoluted in that tight end room. Is like they could easily just start going to what's his name? All.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just let's see here. But yeah, no, those By the way, yes, I do love the call out for Wandale with Neighbors being out. And I do also love the call out for Keon Coleman for Keon Coleman with Shakir out.
I agree with you though, Taco. This is the Keon week.
Another thing that I did do where I wasn't able to have Shakir in that league, I didn't have Coleman like directly, just because not having too much of one team. Xavier Leggett. Man, popped out and showed last week. I think it can happen again. They're playing the Bears.
I am not disagreeing with that fact. I think there's a little bit of. I think that game is going to be. In my work pool, I picked the. Let's just say in my work pool, I picked the Panthers to upset the Bears.
I wouldn't be shocked, honestly.
It's a confidence. I picked it for one confidence. I just picked it as the upset.
It's a tough one because I wrestled with that thought as well. Because I don't trust the Bears offense.
I don't trust the Bears offensively whatsoever.
But that Bears defense is fucking disgusting.
No,
they could win that
Bears
game on their
just
own.
Makes a lot of lucky plays.
Yeah, but they've won those games on their own.
They have. Yeah, the Bears wins comes from the Bears defense.
Yeah.
Cryptic message time. It's always that time of year. We're definitely at that time of year where we start like decrypting players' cryptic messages on Instagram and Twitter and shit. And this time,
I'm so glad I get to go first on this one. I need to go first on this one.
Instead of it being upside down, weirdly typed letters, it's just a simple photo. Davante Adams posted on his Instagram story a picture of Baltimore poet Edgar Allan Poe. We are naming this segment Davante Adams Poe. Okay. Is this thing about to be wrapped up, and is Adams about to be a Raven after this week? Or does another team have a say? Sources are letting us know that this is probably happening within this week. After this week's games wrap up, it's probably going to happen, getting middle of this week. Or does another team have a say? Are you buying Adams in fantasy right now before the destination is settled? Or are you waiting to see where he lands and then trying to see if you can hurry up and buy? What are your thought processes? What are your strategies? Because everyone is asking me about this in the DMs. Mike.
Have either one of you, I don't even know if Taco knows who this is. I know you know who it is. But did you see Jeff Ratcliffe's post today about this?
Oh wait, yes, I did. Yes.
So I am going to read this out loud because I'm gonna use this for part of, because I do think there's more to it. Here is his tweet. Edgar Allan Poe was born in Boston. Davante Adams to the Patriots. Edgar Allan Poe once lived in Philly. Davante Adams to the Eagles. Edgar Allan Poe once lived in NYC. Davante Adams to the Jets or Giants. Edgar Allan Poe wrote The Black Cat. Davante Adams to the Panthers. The reason I wanted to read that out loud,
because
he knew what he was doing, and this is just to get all of us to talk about one team when he goes to the other.
Bro, this is some like Kendrick levels of
yes.
Because if you like Kendrick has like this thing where like he'll like have like other meanings like those like double entendres, like he did like the double entendre with this. I think that everyone is reading too far.
Okay, I'm telling you right now, he is not going to the Baltimore Ravens. I'm telling you right now, he's not going to Baltimore.
Clip that. Save that for later.
Yep, clip that one.
I don't think he's going to be a Raven. I still think he's going to be a Jet. But if he's not a Jet, okay, the Saints one is not happening. I'm sorry. But the sleeper pick that I heard today,
he died at Washington Medical College.
See, there's all this other stuff. But the sleeper pick, the sleeper one that I heard today that could, I don't know if it will work money-wise or whatever the case may be. Buffalo?
I heard that the Raiders have a lot of cap space and that they can absorb the money. So this way, teams like Buffalo, who have financial problems right now,
Yes.
would be able to actually afford him under the cap. So I actually did hear similar things about Buffalo still being in play financially speaking because of the way the Raiders are set
And
up.
then Taco, I know you're in that area, so that's why I'm asking you. Did
Mhm.
you also hear the rumor that if he does go to the Jets, Reddit could be involved?
Yeah,
I saw that, but a lot of it looked like it was from a quote unquote reliable source, but it looked like a lot of bullshit. But I did see that it was going
there's
to Atlanta. Reddick was
no,
going to Atlanta or
there's
something
so
like
much
that.
bullshit. I saw one where it was like Detroit basically mortgaging their whole fucking future to bring him over.
Which
I
makes
saw
no sense.
that one, dog. That one was fucking insane.
Oh,
That-
who to bring who? Adams or to bring Reddick?
Yet to bring
Adams.
Adams.
Oh, the one I
Right.
saw was they're gonna get Hooker and
Yep.
like
Yeah.
Hooker
That was the
first,
shit that was on Facebook, right?
and it was Adams. It was Adams and Crosby.
It came from Twitter. It came
that's
from
unverified.
Twitter. No, it came from Twitter
To Facebook.
to Facebook.
It
Yeah.
was Adams and Crosby for like first picks, Hooker,
Totally
and
unverified.
something else.
See, here's this situation and what I don't want us to do with this, but we're already at that fucking point. Is I don't want this to become another Ayuk thing,
Yes.
except because it feels like that, except it's gonna happen a lot quicker. From what we're being told, is that the Raiders want this done fast as
Yes.
fuck.
But the last thing I want to say in my take is, and I'm going to say it right now, and then I'll throw it to
No, we're
Taco.
not getting him.
But it's also what you're saying. What you are saying right now about it feels this and feels that is the exact. And I'm going to answer the last part of the actual topic is this. That is the exact reason I am not wanting Adams right now, and I want to see what happens because of it going 100 different ways on a freaking map and a spider web. I don't know what's going to happen. It could affect 2 or 3 different teams the way it's going, and that's why I'm waiting.
And so really quick, like for everyone, and because I've seen the post and everyone's tagging me in it, you know, the way that I'm approaching this just from the fan standpoint with my team is it's either we do or we don't. I am okay if we don't because I don't want it to cost an arm and a fucking leg. A 2 and a 3 and maybe, you know, like a player or something. All right, fine. Like whatever, you know, like or 2 or a 3 and a player is what I meant to say. That I'm fine with, you know, hey, like we'll give you Diami, you know, we'll give you Noah Brown and, you know, a second, you know, thank you for Devontae. Let's go make a push, boys. Like,
Yeah, the only other thing
know.
I will add to my point real quick, the only other thing is I don't think Taco or you are going to bring it up. There's people that have brought up the Chiefs. It ain't freaking happening.
It's not happening. That's why
they're not making the mistake like they did with Marcus Allen. It's not like it's not a thing. Please, there's another wide receiver that I want to get that I'll talk about on a different topic or a different show, but it is not happening. So people that keep saying that on the Twitterverse can go kiss ass.
Yeah, nah, like I said, I don't think that, and then also like with that, like we need to be bringing in a receiver that can also help like extend Terry's health and like career and take some of the pressure off of him. Devontae's only going to be there for like a year at best. He's not going to like if we were to acquire him, he's not coming over for like 3-4 years. Like he's old, bro.
I think you get a wide receiver next draft.
That's what I'm thinking too. I think Terry stays a career Washington, you know, and then
I think you build up and it's going to be Terry, the new guy, and McCaffrey as your 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, because Magic Johnson's already talked about like, you know, partial, you know, giving Terry partial like ownership, but I could say so the team whenever he gets out, like da. So yeah. But no, like so yeah, I don't think that we're involved. So I'm not gonna buy into the hype. I've narrowed it down to 2 teams. This is me taking.
You want Taco to go first or no?
Oh wait, I thought Taco just went.
No.
Oh shit, go Taco. Go, 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 go.
I mean, I think this this topic gets very, very interesting when you look at Adams from the standpoint of, is he past his prime or does he have any more of his prime left? And when you think about that, it's like, if he has some of his prime left, more than likely he's gonna want to go somewhere that he can win, right? Win or lose. I mean, not win or lose, but he's gonna go to win. And in that case, he's more than likely going to be a second option. And in these cases, his value is going to go down from what it is. In most cases, I want to trade him. I'm not going to actively trade him. I'm going to hold him. I'm going to hope that he ends up somewhere good. But if someone sends me a halfway respectable offer for Adams, more than likely I'll move him. And I'll move him for a little bit less because it'll start getting sticky. But more than likely, like if he ends up with the Jets, that's a decrease in his value. Like just from the standpoint of I don't know how much, like, will he equal the level of what he did last year, which is essentially what you were drafting at and what you were thinking that you're getting? I mean, I don't think that they forever don't get Garrett Wilson involved either. Like Aaron Rodgers is a smart man. He understands Garrett Wilson is offensive rookie of the year. Garrett Wilson is a top pick. Garrett Wilson is athletic, agile, fast. They're not on the same page yet, but that doesn't mean that they won't get on the same page and good players figure it out.
I'm gonna be honest. No, I'm gonna be honest, and this is football player in me talking. When you're in a season, when you're in season, that's something that we should already have clicking. We should come into the season with that clicking. It should take us a couple of games. Like I've been in the situation where it's like, okay, you just have, I come to a new team and it's like, okay, you guys just have like your chemistry, your thing, whatever. There's a world where Garrett Wilson may have to accept his fucking role. There's a world where he's just gonna have to accept it. Now, do I think that he is? No, because of how talented he is. When you're that talented, it's a very hard thing to accept. And it fucks with you. And when your mental is fucked, that starts fucking with your on the field performance as well.
I'll be honest with you, I think the best landing spot for him actually is the Bills. Because Josh Allen now will finally have someone that he can kind of like, I feel like break out. Like Josh Allen, they've been winning. They've been good. But that last game is that slap into the face of like, your offense is cute. Like it's cute.
I love that you bring that up because the new episode of Gridiron Heights, I know it's a cartoon, but they close.
I haven't seen it yet.
They close with that joke that you just mentioned. He was like, so they're like at a carnival, and like Josh Allen's like, oh, like I get my fortune told. Like, what's in my future? And he's like, stupid boy, don't you already know? And it's like, boom. Like a stamp sign over, like with the AFC Championship game, and it's like, oh, like so you're right, like you're right. What up, Blue Jays? Bills do need a big time playmaker.
As great as it would be to go over there, you still have Mike Williams, you still have Breece Hall, you still have Allen, you still have Wilson, you still have Corley, who's supposed to be something. So. And I don't get why you went so hard for him on draft day where you're posting all these things like by any means necessary and you don't do anything, draw up any plays. Like I do feel like this Jets coaching staff is completely inept and they are holding back this team.
When you work with Nathaniel Hackett.
But the only thing that the Jets have going for him in the sense, besides the fact that they got Rodgers, it's the one offense that he knows.
Yeah,
he's a smart enough football mind. That's
hands down.
Yeah. Here's the thing. He's a smart enough football.
Okay.
The Jets are becoming last year's version of the Lakers. Okay, with the exception of like the whole injury backstory. But like where I get off saying that is like the player being the GM, so on and so forth, having to run the fucking team, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like that coaching staff, like they're so from like a football coaching standpoint, they're young. They're still babies. Like, don't get me wrong, like they've seen a lot of football. They've been around a lot of football, but like for like Rodgers is like big brain guy, big brain football guy, so like them talking about the whole like, oh, we're gonna have to like cancel like the fucking snap count, like shut the fuck up, like like so on and so forth. In regards to the topic though at hand, where I think that Davante is going to end up, I am siding with the Jets, and I am siding with the possibility of it actually being the Ravens. Let's say that Devontae's not trying to send us in all these different directions with the cryptic posts. Let's say he does actually want to go and play with Lamar, and see if he can try and ride those coattails to a championship and maybe be the Steve Smith for that team. Steve Smith went and got a Super Bowl, like left Carolina, got us, like, maybe this gives me a little bit of that, like that feel, and I lived through that. So that's my take. We are going to get into halftime, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Please do not go away. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. We will be right back in a few after a couple of music videos and a word from our sponsors. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboys and girls want to do. Dilly dilly. Arrrr.
Just stick to the plot. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it just shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it just shit. See, it's kinda funny. You stick to the road to the riches and hope you don't crash like some dummy. To get to this money, you cut every piece of the pie to find out you sliced into an onion. Now let's change the subject. These niggas who think they got something, but actually they end up with nothing. It's stupid distrust. I'm tired of the fucking assumptions. I'm about to blow up like corruption, so stick to it. Stick to the plan. When you lose it, gotta get it again. Keep it moving, never stick in the sand. Even when tired, like Michelin man, shit, I know I'm the man, so I don't give a damn about opinions. I'm racking up millions, you stacking up pennies. She throwing it back in the back of the venue. Now we taking off in her man and his feelings. Now back to the business. Back to the lab with my niggas. Actually back doing laps in the trenches. It's my second home, I ain't have to go visit. I stay resident, embedded to living the life of a nigga. By day we just niggas, at night we the victim. The light up, go get 'em, so I'ma go get it. I stick to my plan, I stay on my mission. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it just shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the screen. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do it just shit. So this is my message. Sometimes you just living in life, be an actor. Don't try to direct it. Now let's change direction. This life that we live for the lesson. Don't count chickens, start counting blessings before they go missing. I promise you, I'm on a mission. I want something, I'ma go get it. No hidden intentions. I open my eyes, saw my vision. Now everyone see that I'm gifted. I'm rapping like Christmas. You niggas just under a tree. I'm smoking it, not metaphorically. I'm smoking no tree. No one's smoking on me. So when I say you're under it, no, that means me. I'm a poet and MC, and I'm living my dream. Hoping that hopefully you see the hope in me. And if you don't fuck it, cause I'm all I need. Keep my ear to the game and my mind to the streets. I'm a beast. Stick to the number one mission in hand. Be true to yourself and give your life meaning. And fuck their opinions, they won't understand. To get to the top, gotta give all you got. Only getting one shot, so give up or not until your heart stops. Gotta stick to the plot. and stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. And stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do what you shit. Just stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. And stick to the plot. And stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to do what you shit. Just stick to the script. I bite in Miami when I'm land, I got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, or turn me up, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Shots to your D for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no one zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, go where you're not. You don't have to worry, it's my time right now, cause the boy about to blow up. They gon' pay me before I show up. Why you hating? You don't know us. Never make it what they told us. But we don't listen to haters, we just keep.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Well, okay, at least I'm fucking back because I remember how to do my damn job.
I'm here.
He said, I'm here. There you are. There you are. Alrighty. I am back. That's my boy. Drop the mic, FF. Taco is handling fatherly duties. There he is. Look. Oh, baby. Oh.
Good thing it doesn't look like Taco.
Oh, it definitely looks like Taco. Look at her head.
Bald?
Oh my gosh.
Go in there. All right, boys.
It's a baby. He's not gonna have a lot of hair. I'm just saying him.
Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into the rest of the show. Taco, you good?
I'm gonna have to sub out for a second, but
Do what you gotta do. You want me to say I'll still leave your box up? You're good?
yeah. I'll pop back and hopefully. We'll see how this girl goes.
All right.
Making mommy a little frustrated, so.
Aww. Go ahead. Go handle your fatherly duties. You good, bro?
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, I'll bring you down. Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll bring him back up.
Go. All righty. One of my favorite topics, we get to discuss my favorite position, the position, of course, that I played, and that is wide receiver. 4 weeks down, and we have seen some amazing football. Many sports have their own team building philosophy, if you will, whether it's, the NBA with the big three or so on and so forth. Tonight, we discuss wide receiver duos. Who do you feel is your favorite wide receiver duo? Okay. I would like to throw just a couple of options out there to kind of get
Please do
gears going. The top 5 according to Football Forever. All right. Through 4 games, we got to remember some of these teams have not played their 5th game yet.
Are you starting at 5 or are you starting at 1?
I'll start at 5.
Thank you.
Drake London, Darnell Mooney.
Okay.
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin.
Yep.
Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, DK Metcalf, JSN. Let me just give you some by the numbers. By pure yardage, Nico and Diggs, 723. Drake and Mooney, 684. 662 for Edwards, and he has God and win in his name. And then 592 for the Rumboy, DK Metcalf, and JSN. Mike, take it away. Oh, by the way, before we do that, cheers to me. Cheers to you on the Rumboy.
Hold on.
Arr. Get him, big dog.
Okay. Before I give my take, this is okay. There's jokes and then there's jokes.
That was a joke. Yeah, that was definitely a joke. The chat, wow.
Well, no, I mean, I understand it, but no. My point is, this is very subjective because you could literally sit there and say, if 2 wide receivers get healthy next week, that I'm just going to use an example. You could sit there and say that AJB and Devonta Smith.
I get it.
No. I'm just prefacing by saying you can go totally different ways. You can go pure numbers.
Let's just go by the numbers. Let's limit it to these 4.
Okay, if we're limiting it to these freaking 5, right?
4. It's 4.
So you said 1 through 5.
Woo!
All right, so
make sure we didn't get hit with that copyright. You have Houston on top, Atlanta 2nd, Bucks 3rd, Seattle 4th.
I don't care about the numbers. I want the Bucks. Out of those 4, I want the Bucks.
State your case, sir.
You got the guy who's had how many? I mean, you brought him up earlier.
100 career touchdowns.
But on top of that, however, 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons on his way to 11. You got Chris Godwin, who is the perfect wide receiver for a quarterback like Baker Mayfield. I still don't believe in Stephon Diggs. I think there's going to be regression with DK Metcalf and JSN in the sense that this running game is going to take over later on in the season. You got London and Mooney, who I get, but at the same time, they've played another game. This game was massive for both of them. I mean, London had 36 fantasy points. Mooney had 33. You're not going to have that all the time. They're the key of they are the diagram of consistency. I would rather have these guys out of those 4 I think 99 out of 100 times.
Okay. My good
Now
sir,
let
I
me
can
hear it,
respect your
devil's
take.
advocate.
I respect your take. For me, I'm taking it to H-Town.
Okay.
I'm taking it to H-Town.
I knew you were. So yeah.
Give me Diggs and Nico all fucking day. I can do so many different things with them. Diggs is out there running in arounds. Diggs is out here getting utilized on jet sweeps. I am with it. I am here for it. Okay. I can have the talent and the veteran experience of Diggs. I got the big body, box out, go and get him. Also could catch in distance and create separation in Nico Collins. I am absolutely here for it. CJ Stroud is blessed with talent, okay, which is why he had the year that he did last year. All right. Part of why, a big part why. I'm not shocked that Houston has 723 yards between their duo.
I'm not either.
Again, it's only going to get better. They're going to end as the number one duo.
Let me ask you this. Okay. I want to say this before I go, since it's just the two of us and we can kind of go back and forth for a few minutes. Out of those 8 wide receivers, I would probably right now, Nico would be my number 1.
Yes.
Okay, I would want Nico number 1. That's not the reason I'm not picking Houston. But could you see an opportunity, a chance this season with health and everything else getting better and whatever, that I'm not saying numbers-wise because there's already been numbers happening, but I'm talking stature on the team by the time the season's over, that Diggs isn't even the number 2 target on that team, that it's going to be Tank?
No, I'm not worried about Tank whatsoever.
Why not?
I'm not worried about Tank. I've been going around telling people they can drop Tank, though.
But I just don't see Diggs.
Okay. So what's happening? What's happening here? At least what I believe is,
when is Diggs going to get in his own way?
What you have became so, and what I think that is happening with a lot of the fantasy community, and why a lot of the fantasy community is wanting to die on the hill that you are dying on in regards to Stephon Diggs. Okay, is because we were so enamored last year of what Tank Dell accomplished and was able to do, and Stroud was like, that's my guy. Go out and go and get him. That's who I want. But I think that Stroud and Diggs, there's something there, and I don't think that it's just Diggs running the ball.
You're wrong. You're right, and you're wrong.
I don't think that is.
I am dying on a hill. No. I'm saying you're wrong. You're right that I'm dying on a hill. You're wrong on the hill that I'm dying on. I'm dying on the hill next to it that Diggs is going to get in his own way like he did in damn Buffalo.
I don't think that that's going to be a case. I think that
I hope not.
New locations. Look,
he's doing it.
Hold on. Here's a perfect analogy, and the chat is going to love this analogy.
What rat you going to do it to?
Robbie be outside, right?
Oh Lord, Ratchet Robbie.
Robbie be outside, like Robbie be hoeing, you know. And what I always tell every different female that I talk to, every girl that I talk to, is like, yeah, but like whatever happened before doesn't have to happen now. Don't treat me like you're last. I think it's the same thing for Stephon Diggs. He's not going to treat it like his last. He's not treating, hey, this is something completely new. We're off to a great, beautiful start. It's only one season. We're only one in. I think what you're talking about doesn't happen until later on. I don't think it happens this year, this season.
But it's only a 1-year deal. He's gone after this year. That's why I think it could. That's why I'm saying that.
Leafs goes meeting a shorty with 1,236 body count. I'm dead.
So you're saying he's going to play out this year, get his So what you're telling me, Robbie, is you think he's going to go out, get his contract from another team, and then F over that team like Antonio Brown did?
Yes. CTSPN.
Okay.
Yes, I see that being more of a thing. And even still, I don't think that everything has been Diggs. I think there's two sides to every story.
Yeah, no, and I don't think
he's just been the
all
one
been
being toxic. Like,
he was
okay,
toxic in Minnesota, though.
when you listen to a Future track, it's like yes, Future is toxic, but someone broke your heart along the way. Someone hurt you, and because of that person, you're the reason why you're like this. Because of Minnesota, he's the reason why that's the reason why he's like this now. You know, so that's just how I feel. You know, no need to beat a dead horse. Second behind that, though, I would want the Bucks. Just because, like, first ballot Hall of Famer Mike Evans, greatest ever do.
I agree with you, but I don't think it's going to happen.
First ballot. He has a Super Bowl. How many playoff appearances? How many Pro Bowls?
I agree, but there's something telling me that there's just something. Robbie. If I had a vote, he would 100% be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm just saying there's something telling me that he's not.
Miss Heartbroken Drake, I'm dead. Matt, what's good? What's good, Matt? Dilly. I don't know. I think he gets in. I think he gets in. Really quick, we have some time to fill. So before we get into the next topic, we talked about the Jets a little bit earlier. There are reports coming out this past week about, maybe we should abandon Rodgers, snap count. Rodgers then replied, snap count I've used for years. I ain't talking too fast. Basically, everybody else just listening too slow. How do you feel about this whole debacle happening in New York? Like, these two are not getting along. Rodgers isn't getting the ball to Garrett Wilson, and they're not getting chemistry. The coaching staff and Rodgers don't have chemistry. What the fuck? Begs the question.
You just said that Stephon Diggs is going to pull Stephon Diggs once he gets out of Houston.
No.
Aaron Rodgers is pulling Aaron Rodgers bullshit. I think he's pulling bullshit now. I think he's going to regret it. But at the same time, he wants his boy Devontae and all that. We've talked about Devontae. But when it comes to the snap count itself, I think it's being blown out of proportion, and they're bringing it up as almost like the reason he's fucking up. And I don't think that's the case. I think it's more than Nathaniel Hackett. They're just not on the mesh or whatever. I don't think Garrett Wilson is the issue. I think part of the problem with Garrett Wilson is they play Denver, right? Patrick Surtain.
PS2.
The matchups have not been great. I think the best thing for freaking Garrett Wilson would be Devontae Adams. Because
pray do tell.
Because he's not going to – if Devontae goes there, Devontae's going to get the number one DB on him.
Yes.
And that's going to free up Garrett Wilson. And if Devontae is with – and I think Taco was right. If he wants to win, yes, he's going to want his targets, but if he's with his homie and he wants to win, and part of that is letting Garrett get some targets on the outside – because he's the one being shaded by the defense, I think that's good for Garrett.
I got something for you. You remember that time when the Denver Nuggets decided they were going to bring over Allen Iverson? And that team had talent. It's
just like the Lakers bringing over freaking Karl Malone and Gary Payton.
Yep. Let's not bring up Karl Malone in 2024. I know what you mean. I know, but that's just not a name that we should bring up. Given like
okay, when they brought over Gary Payton
and the Grapist. Anyways, yes, I do love JSN this week. I bring this up because sometimes you can have a team built with just too much talent, just so much talent, to where it overcompensates for itself and it ends up breaking.
Okay, the Lakers team I will bring up. I'll bring up the Lakers team that I can bring up. Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, and Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard, yeah. You know, you have a super team. You know, you have all this talent, but you know, the things just don't mesh together. That's really what I'm feeling from New York in its current state.
That's partly because it's in New York.
That's what I feel is going to be with Devontae Adams. I do partially feel that it's New York. I do also feel like it's a portion because your quarterback is so mainstream and so big, you know, celebrity, even outside of football, that the pressure and, you know, so on and so forth. And your quarterback is just so smart and knows so much football, but also has to listen to these dumbass fucking coaches. If I'm New York, just let Rodgers call the whole damn thing. If I'm New York, coach players towards discipline. Coach players to actually just fucking play football. Stop calling the most bland vanilla offense. New York's offense is the equivalent to a starfish. Okay? Like, just not exciting in bed. Just pillow princess. Vanilla as fuck. So, that's my take. Whoa, Aiden, that's crazy. Freak Ops enjoyer. I'm dead. Blame it on the rain. All right. I love our chat. Yo, can we get a round of applause for our chat? Let's get a fucking round of applause for our chat. That's a knee slap, Mike.
No, it's a belly slap.
Kinky. Many teams have surpassed their preseason expectations. Okay. The hive mind constantly during the all season. This team has no chance. This team has. Now we have some data and we have a little bit that we could talk about. I've gotten triggered over the last couple of days scrolling and looking at different Twitter posts, looking at different Instagram posts, listening to some of our own colleagues in this industry, whether it's been Rich Eisen, Greeny, hell, even some of the wild shit that Stephen A has said.
I haven't even listened to him.
I listened to a clip because I was like, all right, like I need to see what the fuck this is because it had my team involved in it. I'm triggered by everyone's takes. So we really need, as the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, to discuss we're looking at offense only. Yes, shout out to the defense. Thank you for getting the offense the ball. Thank you for creating turnovers. Thank you for everything that you do defense. Special teams. We love you guys too. Thank you, so on and so forth.
So we're talking offense only.
We are talking offense. Who has the best offense in the NFL right now? Because that is too convoluted of a question, we are going to go best offense in the AFC. You're bugging, blood. We're going to go best offense in the NFC. I see you scrolling looking for fucking data.
I'm looking at simple data.
From your heart.
No. I'm just looking at simple data.
I have my take for both sides.
Oh, I just didn't realize we were going off. I'm just making sure.
I am ready. I am. The gloves are off. I am ready to.
I already know. I already think I know one of your takes. Let's do this. I'm going to start off in the AFC, and I'm still
fucking fan.
Huh?
You would Chiefs fan?
No, it's not the Chiefs. It's not even close.
Oh, I know.
I'm going to say the same thing I said at the beginning of the season, and it shows with my Scott Fishbowl team that is in 49th place, by the way, overall.
Oh, 49th overall?
Overall.
God damn.
And that is, as long as they can stay healthy, Baltimore's offense is going to be unfreaking stoppable. I got Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, and Derek freaking Henry.
Did you know that Baltimore has not produced a Pro Bowl wide receiver since 2012?
Anquan Bolden?
Yeah. They've all the receivers that have gone have been special teams players. They have not been selected as
Not actual receivers.
Yeah.
All right. So this team, if they can stay healthy, Todd Monken,
Todd Monken, yeah. It's Monken. Yeah, it's Monken.
He is a godsend compared to freaking Greg freaking Roman. He's knowing how to use these guys right. Mind you, they're doing this. They have scored 106 points overall. That is the second most in the AFC East or in the AFC. Mind you, that is with, I know we're talking NFL, but I'm going to bring fantasy into this just real quick.
That's fine.
That's, mind you, that's with Mark Andrews getting 2 goose eggs in a fucking row. 2! And he's supposed to be the number 1 target on this team. And they're still doing this. So my answer is hands down without a goddamn doubt. Baltimore. Would you go AFC? Would you want to go AFC or do you want me to go right into my NFC?
I'll go AFC.
Okay. Well, I'm going to dissect.
I'll go AFC. Mine is going to be chalk. Mine is going to be pretty damn chalk because I wholeheartedly do. I agree with your take 100%. Okay. We're a podcast. We have to have differentiating opinions. Yep. So I can't sit here and be like, yeah, Baltimore too. No one's going to fucking watch it if I do that shit. For me, in the AFC, I already brought up my favorite wide receiver duo. So I am going to switch up my favorite offense in its totality. And it still is the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC. Even with Rashee Rice being out.
Who are we throwing the ball to?
Can I let me talk? Let me listen.
I know.
Listen, Pimpin', I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. I've been doing this for 7 years. Now get that done off your shoulders. Let me cook.
It was more of a question because I need to hear this.
Let me cook. Let him cook. Listen. All right. I still do have the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. Why? Because this team finds ways to win. It is not just the pieces that are on the field. It is the coaching. It is the philosophy. It is the ability to overcome adversity. They are built for that. They were trying to save Kelsey for later on in the season. I think that Kelsey, from a fantasy standpoint, they now have to unfold and do what they got to do. Kareem Hunt in the backfield, he's going to do his thing until Pacheco gets back. Once Pacheco is back, they good. All right. Need I remind you that they brought in the speedster and Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy is going to fucking snap. He is going to go off. All right. I'm not worried about size. I'm not worried about anything else. I'm worried about ability. I'm worried about what play calling can do to be able to get him open and utilize his ability to create separation. This team is still one of the best teams. Excuse me. Despite injuries, I don't give a damn about the injuries. I am still all in on the Kansas City Chiefs in regards to the AFC. My second there would be the Houston Texans, but I already talked about them in a segment, so I'm not going to sit here and just fucking suck them off the whole show. You want to get it? You want to do your NFC now?
No, I want you to.
You want me to? All righty.
I want you to.
Why you got to do this? Because my NFC was going to be dependent based off of what you said.
Well, my NFC was dependent on what you said.
All right, I'm gonna message you. I'm gonna message you.
Just put it in the group, in the private chat.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna do.
Okay. No. We're go.
Okay, so for me, my favorite offense in the NFC actually is not my team. Despite what everyone wanted me to say heading into this. Like, I just messaged Mike backstage and he was like, oh, wait, like you weren't doing that? Like, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. My favorite offense right now is the Minnesota Vikings. I am loving what this offense can be once TJ Hawkinson, the run boy, is plugged back into the offense. Jordan Addison is fucking going yard. By the way, shout out to all of you guys that are still watching the Jordan Addison breakdown that I did. Y'all are fucking amazing. That piece is making money. Must be the money. Yes, I just Shane McMahon referenced that. That was probably bad timing to do that.
No, it's not his dad.
It's not his dad, exactly. But no, Jordan Addison to the moon, I think is going to be a flex position league winner, a trade target that if you don't have, you should be trying to acquire, even with TJ Hawkinson back into the fold, because I think that him and Darnold have the special connection. We cannot not talk about the Minnesota Vikings, without talking about Jay Jettis and how he can still maintain getting bracket coverage and go out there and just demolish and shut shit the fuck down. Then also we have to go to the backfield. Aaron Jones, dog. Straight up fucking dog. All right. Who expected the resurgence that he's having? When it comes to fantasy, we're talking top 10, ladies and gentlemen. Top 10. 10. I'm all in on the Minnesota Vikings saying, yes, Jalen Naylor spawned out of nowhere. Naylor's a fucking beast. We love Jalen Naylor. What you got, Mike? And then we're going to get out of here because we're probably going to get out of here early.
Okay, so Robbie's right. I messaged him in the back, and here's why. But it's not for reasons that people think. My favorite offense in this freaking NFC, hands down, is the Washington Football Commanders.
Let's go!
Without a doubt. And
it's not because we're friends.
No, and it's not. And people are going to think it's because, okay, the number, can't remember what pick he was overall. Was it number 2? Overall? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You remember correctly.
Okay. So Jaden Daniels right now is the number, and yes, I am looking not at you because I am looking at my stats. You know how I am. Jaden Daniels is the number 2 overall quarterback in rushing yards.
Yeah.
You can guess who the only one that has more rushing yards than him is. Lamar. But he is doubled on Lamar's touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Yes, Lamar has Derrick Henry. I understand that. Mm-hmm. But he also, Jaden Daniels, has 10 more dropbacks than Lamar Jackson. But his yards passing is 897. Okay, he has 897 rush and passing yards. I know that's not, whatever, but that's 13th overall. He is 7 yards behind Patrick Mahomes in passing yards. If you would have said that at the beginning of the year, he has more passing yards than Derrick Henry. Derek Carr. He has more passing yards than Josh Allen. He has more passing yards than Caleb, Kyler, Trevor, Deshaun.
Highest QBR since 1950.
Okay. They got freaking Terry goddamn McLaurin. Everyone knows how I feel about Terry. I have felt about Terry about that since day one. I've always been a Terry fan. Right? You know that, right, Robbie?
Trustway has had 4 punts this season. Keep going.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm going to come back on camera in just a sec when this comes back up because I'm trying to prove a point right now.
Go ahead. Leafs, yes. We live in a time where every mainstream outlet has Commander stuff everywhere. That's never happened. And I'm loving it. Not when it's positive to talk about.
Okay, but here's the thing. You got Jaden Daniels. What a stud. You got Terry McLaurin. But I'm telling you right now, freaking Brian Robinson, many men is the goddamn reason. With the way he's playing right now, when he's healthy, he is making it where they're using him more than Austin Eckler. We all know how we felt. We're like, oh, great. Robinson's finally got the mojo, and then you bring in Eckler. What's going to happen?
I said they were both going to be fine.
Yeah.
Y'all said what you wanted to say.
Huh?
I said he's going to be fine. Yeah.
I didn't. But why did I say that? It wasn't because of Brian. I didn't trust Cliff Kingsbury. When have I ever had a reason to trust Cliff Kingsbury?
Hey, I'm just saying.
You said that as a Washington fan. You shush. Okay.
Spit your game, talk your shit.
But I will say that I'm surprised that he is using both of them. B-Rob is the reason because when they need to, you brought it up. You brought up Trace Way. When they need to slow the ball down, when they need to keep the ball out of the other team's hands, they can use Jaden's legs and B-Rob's legs and control the freaking clock. This team, if they can get this defense to freaking buckle down.
We have been.
Yes, but not like you need to. You buckle down against the Giants. I mean, come on.
In Arizona, we fucked Arizona up.
Arizona's a disappointment to me. I'm disappointed in Arizona.
We're not going to look.
Next week, we'll talk about disappointments.
Next week, we'll talk about disappointments.
But Washington, that's my answer. Number 2, Minnesota. Number 3, Seattle.
Okay. Best damn offense for me we already did that. I was about to keep going. I was about to I got more. Let's get into
let's just do
bets. And then let's get out of here. Do you want to go ahead and like take like a quick minute, like build yourself up like a quick parlay, like some UFC, a college, and then like an NFL? We got MLB tomorrow, don't we? Yes, sir. We got MLB tomorrow. So you already know. All right, I'm about to really cook. Oh, I'm about to cook. Okay, I got my MLB pick. I got my NFL pick. Let's see. Look, this motherfucker. You can come over here on camera. Like, it's like you want to see what's going on? You want to see what I got popping? Hold up. This is my little brother Vic. This the little homie, yo. What's good with you? We're gonna do our college football first. I'll do my NFL last.
We're both doing the same damn thing.
Oh, so you already got your UFC and
I'm just saying, like, I'm just going through everything. I'm making sure.
I know what I want, but I'm just gonna scroll the college slate real fast, just to double check. Cause like I can. There's some smooth plays. Oh my gosh, I know what I want. You want to go first?
No,
or you have to go first. It's your turn.
I want to hear him.
Yeah, you have to go first because it's going to be your turn. So let me know when you're done building.
Okay. I'm almost.
Dog, college football.
That's the one I'm stuck on.
Oh, I'm not stuck. I all right. Well, I'm stuck because I'm stuck between two different picks. All right, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, I got my college football, and I'm gonna get my NFL right now.
You can go first if you want.
Well, I gotta lock in my NFL first. But I'm making sure that I come with some heat. All right, I got some heat.
Go.
I got some heat. I could have probably made this better, but UFC honestly fucked it over. Actually, let me adjust my UFC pick. Are you done with yours?
Just go.
All right. So I'm gonna start off with baseball. I'm gonna put my UFC pick very, very last because I just want to I want to see if I can get better value on the Pereira fight, to be honest, or at least go by prediction. So I'm gonna go Dodgers money line over the Padres because. Fuck the Padres. That's why. For college football, I am going JMU by 16.
Of course.
Like what they did last week by 21.5. I was just enamored, and I was like, oh, like yeah, this has to be a thing. So yeah, I am gonna go there. My UFC pick, I'm going to give you my UFC pick right now. And I'm going to save my NFL pick. Is Pereira to win by a KO, TKO, or DQ in round 1, plus 185. That's the only juice that you're going to get. So that's basically like the only play that you get on that fight. I mean, you can go round 2 and it's plus 450. But Pereira's probably going to baptize him back to the fucking shadow realm in round 1. And then for my NFL pick, I am going Houston by 1. I have talked a lot about Houston tonight. I think last year my closet team was the Bengals. I think my closet team is Houston this year. Blue Jays. I said Jacobs over Ayuk. Ayuk hasn't proven it yet to be in a starting lineup. He's startable, but he's not going to. I don't think he's going to outperform Jacobs at this rate. All right, Mike, run your parlay.
All right, so I'm going a little risky on this one. And I hate agreeing with you on something. Like, I really hate agreeing with you.
I agree with you too, but I love you.
How do I do this? I just don't know how to do what you did on that.
What, for the UFC? Oh, you got it.
Like, no, okay, so I think Pereira's gonna win now. I'm gonna leave that out of my parlay, but like that's what I think is gonna happen. I think that he's gonna win. You can do what Robbie did. Blah blah blah. I'm going a little bit different on this one because I'm gonna do it. I'm taking the Panthers plus 4. I'm taking the Panthers plus 4.
Well, you teased it earlier in the show, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm taking on the money line. They're plus 1.5 in the game. I'm talking college, but I'm taking on the money line. Michigan's not going to lose to Washington. On the road or not, I don't think they're going to lose to Washington. So I'm going to take the plus 102. And the one that I'm going to take that's a little risky, Robbie knows I'm a Dodger fan, so screw the Padres. But I'm not putting that on my parlay because Robbie did, but also just because of the juice. Because I'm going to go with the hot hand. And at plus 130, I'm taking the Detroit Tigers over the Cleveland Guardians.
I like that. I like Tigers over Guardians. Really quick, before we get out of here, we are about to wrap up. Did you take a look at that UCF 1.5 and then that Tennessee by 14?
Yes.
I think I want to take Tennessee and I want to take UCF.
The other one that's being a fan, I can't bet on this game, but there's something telling me that UCLA is going to get shit bricked. And they're at 28.5, and I have a feeling it's going to be 31.
God damn.
Robbie, they lost by
Ortiz. Hold up, let's get this one fantasy question here really quick. Would you trade Godwin, TJ Hawk, or Marvin Harrison? My tight end is Kittle. My thing is why'd you hang on to TJ Hawk this long if you weren't going to play him? That's one thought process that goes through my head. Godwin, I feel like
he probably got Hawk late and put him on his IR.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's exactly what happened. I mean, he probably stored him for this exact situation. Here's the thing with Marvin Harrison Jr. said the Arizona Cardinals are not making it a priority to get him the ball.
No.
So I don't know if it's sufficient enough to give up 2 players that are probably going to outperform Marvin Harrison on a week-to-week basis. One of those players will likely give any given week outperform MH.
You know what I would rather do? I'm keeping Godwin and Hawk. And once I would keep Godwin and Hawk. And once Kittle comes back healthy and has 1 or 2 good games, I'm trading Kittle.
I trade Kittle. Exactly. Let's go ahead. Let's get our asses out of here. I saw you reach over too. Like we both reached. You thought we've been working together so long. Like you saw my arm reach one direction, that your arm went in another direction.
Tuesday, I was up for 28 straight hours. Okay, I'm ready for this already. I'm going to bed.
Sounds like a wild night, Aski.
No, I was. No.
Oh yeah. The delivery of the
She was in labor for 20 hours.
God damn. That's all the birth control I needed. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what to do, dilly dilly. We love you. We appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.
Fuck the Dodgers.
Fuck the Padres.
Screw you.